Good day, everybody. In this class, we are going to talk about how to form a quadratic equation from any given root. But first, let's define a quadratic equation. A quadratic equation is an equation that is given in the form ax squared plus bx plus c equal to 0, right? Okay, so how do we form an equation from the roots? Let's say if m and n are the roots of an equation, right? If m and n are the roots, it means that the solution of that equation will either be x equal to m, right, or x equal to n. From here, when we take n to the other side, it becomes x minus m is equal to 0, or x minus n equal to 0. If we thereby bring them together in a closed bracket, that is this multiplied by this, everything equal to 0, because both of them are equal to 0, right? So it therefore means that x minus m brackets x minus n equal to 0. Then from here we open the brackets. X times x is x squared, x times n is minus x n, m times s is minus m x, and m times n, minus times minus become plus, and that become m n. So we have x here, we have x here. So what do? We factorize, that becomes s squared. What do we factorize? We factorize x, right? And there's also minus here, so we factorize that minus and x. So what will be here becomes n, right? And this minus has been factored out, so this place will now become plus m, right, plus mn, or equal to 0. So it means, remember, we are still saying equal to 0. So it means that this is the final root of the equation. What does this mean? It means that if m and n are the root of the equation, are the solution to an equation which is also the root, therefore the solution, are you getting it now? The quadratic equation from that solution can be written as s squared, right, minus x multiplied by sum. You see, this is the sum now, m plus n, multiplied by the sum of the roots, right, plus mn is product of the roots, all equal to 0. So if this is true, then let's solve some questions, some JAMB questions that are related to this. So we have a question here. It says the quadratic equation whose roots are 1 minus root 13 and 1 minus root 13, right, and 1 plus, is what? So we remember our general formula. Recall that a quadratic equation is given by x, right, square minus x multiplied by the sum of the roots, right, multiplied by the sum of the roots plus the product of the roots equal to 0. So what we should look for here is the sum and the product. The sum of the root here is 1 minus root 3 plus 1 plus root 3, and that will give you 1 plus 1 is 2, right? So this is 13, it's 13. 1 plus 1 is 2, and minus 13 plus 13 is 0 because they are same value. So minus 13 plus 13 will give you 0. So the sum of the roots here is 0. So that means that this equation becomes x squared, right, minus x bracket 2 plus. Now, how do we get the product? To get the product is same thing. Product means multiplication, right? Product means times. So that is 1 minus root 3, right? Sorry, root 13. 1 plus root 13. So 1 times 1 is equal to 1. 1 times 3 is equal to root 3. Minus root 3 times 1 is, sorry, 13. I don't know why I keep saying root 3. Minus 13 times 1 becomes minus root 13. And minus 13 times root 13, minus root 13 times root 13 will give you, first we take the sign, minus times plus will give you minus, right? Then this root here, this is square of the root, right? So that becomes 13 square. So this is equal to 1. Now root 13 minus root 13 is equal to 0, so there is nothing here, right? Plus. Now always note that when you have a square and a square root, they will cancel out. Note, anywhere you see square and square root, square, and anywhere you see square and square root, they always cancel. They always cancel. So that means that this place will be 13 remaining because this square and this root will cancel out, right? So this place will be minus because it's minus outside, right? 13. So from here we evaluate, we'll have 1 plus 0 still 1 minus 13, that becomes minus 12, right? So how we write it here, brackets minus 12 equal to 0. So in here we have x squared. Now 2 times s is 2x, right? Then minus and plus will give you minus 12 equal to 0. So the quadratic equation form from this is 2x minus 12 equal to 0. Thank you very much. In the next class we are going to be solving more problem on this.